Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tin Media. My name is Isaac Jasper. Today, we're going to be going over a Substack article that was produced by Tin Media by myself here, going over child exploitation, colonial impunity, that reaches all the way from Gaza here to here in Las Vegas. For those that are just tuning in and just finding this network, my name is Isaac Jasper. I am the founder of this network. This is an indigenous-led network. We're going to be slowly but surely re-ramping up some content, news analysis, and live streams as well, sooner rather than later. If you like what you see here, you like what the analysis, what's being said, drop some coin on us. Like, share, subscribe, do what you can. That's all I can ask for at this moment. Again, for those that are not aware, we are going to be talking about this Substack article, which you guys can find at Substack.com. Isaac Jasper. I'm trying to change the domain to Tin Media, so that way it's not personalized. But you can still find me at isaacjasper.substack.com. Uh, and you guys can find multiple articles as well regarding what's going on. I pushed out a shit ton of articles regarding Gaza, regarding what's going on here in the occupied territories of Turtle Island. So I highly advise you guys to go over there and check this stuff out. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to those that help out with making sure that this looks pretty cute and what it should be, professional. So back to this article again, as stated, Predator Shield, Colonial's impunity from Las Vegas to Gaza. This arrest again, and for those that aren't aware, this is the arrest of Tom Alexandrovich, who is a senior department head within the Israeli occupational forces their cyber doctorate. So he works in cybersecurity. He's actually senior official. So to know that, this individual, one, was brung up on charges for soliciting a minor as young as 14 years old, was a part of a sting that had been going on for quite some time. From what I had been able to pick up, months they had this guy on their radar, and this was kind of the final leg of this operation. And so he was apprehended along with 8 other individuals as well, that were charged with soliciting a minor. And for those that don't know what soliciting a minor is, that is wanting to have sexual exchange with a child. These are chomos, these are pedophiles, these are people who, again, are trying to get millions of people into believing that we need to ethnically cleanse Palestine, that we need to, carpet bomb the Gaza Strip. These are all grotesque notions and grotesque actions that only come from colonial impunity. For those that again are not aware, this dude was released. Then he was within days flown back to Israel. Israel has denied these claims but has suspended him. This story gets even deeper because the federal district attorney, for which Trump appoints these attorneys, for those that don't know, like Bondi, for those that aren't, Pam Bondi, the attorney general, uh, he appoints these district attorneys, federal. And it's kind of ironic that the individual that released or greenlit for him to be able to leave this country, this occupation, to go to another occupation, to then not face accountability for the actions that were then done, was also an Israeli IOF individual. This is grotesque. This is disgusting, to know that this is happening. I live here in Vegas, so for me, this story hit home because I do have children that live in my household, and to know that people like him are advocating for the ethnic cleansing of children at this point in Palestine. We and at the same exact time are exploiting children here in the occupied territories of Turtle Island. It just shows you that they have like no they, being the IOF, being Israelis, have no remorse, and at the same exact time feel that they have no accountability that needs to be leveraged or put in place when they do such things. This multi-agent agency effort involved agents from the FBI's Child Exploitation Task Force, Henderson Police, North Las Vegas Police Department, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Nevada Attorney General's Office. Now, I'm decolonial, so I'm not going to sit here. It's ACAB all day. All of these individuals are in cahoots. So I'm only highlighting the fact that an IOF soldier got caught. They then tried to silence it, and at the same exact time of trying to silence it, they allowed this dude to go scot-free. When does that happen for any person of color? Should that happen at all? That's what we should question. Israeli government swiftly again condemned and the alleged acts as shameful and disgusting, and suspended Alexandrovich. Crucially, he had attended the U.S. conference in official capacity. Despite facing serious felony allegations, attorneys stated he was released following questioning on Wednesday, returned to his hotel, and flew back to Israel within 2 days, within 48 hours. This rapid extraction from U.S. jurisdiction, facilitated by his official status, coupled with performative condemnation. And I was unable to, it's not allowing me to load up the arrest, but I'm going to try and edit, like, since this is a recording, but try and pop it up for you guys so you guys be able to see. He was exploiting a minor. He was exploiting a minor. There is no trying to deflect from this, you know? This deflects scrutiny, from the systems that, again, that have granted him this access and enabled his swift exit. Like, this is, functioning as an institutional protection rather than meaningful accountability. Where's the accountability here? He was soliciting himself to a minor. When has that ever been right? Never. It's never been right. And this also comes, at a moment in time where we're seeing the United Nations, and you guys know how I feel about the United Nations, but it's something that needs to be talked about. The United Nations right now is getting ready to roll out whole entire files that they've had for 2 years, and they probably have more, of child exploitation, sexual assault, and torture by the IOF to Palestinian children, women, and men in prisons. This is all accounted for. People like myself that have covered Palestine far before October 7th know exactly what these institutions do, know exactly what they're meant, and, to operate in what capacity. So it's not surprising to me, but what is surprising is that we continue to allow this to happen. We continue to allow colonial impunity to run rampant across the globe, affecting indigenous populations. And this article goes over this, by the way. So I'm just paraphrasing what I wrote down. We have to really consciously think, moving forward, what are some measures that we need to take that are a little bit more radical? That's all I'm saying. Because these individuals are acting like they have no accountability, and he was exploiting himself to a minor. To a minor. It's crazy. Because when you bring in, as I stated, the sexual assault, not allegations, but actual evidence that was given to the United Nations, versus the evidence of sexual assault that was given to the United Nations by Israel that was false. Accusation after accusation after accusation. What's that famous term that everybody's using nowadays? Every accusation is a confession. I've said it on here. Multiple people on this network in the past have said it. Every accusation is a confession, and they're confessing right now that they're predators, that they're grotesque, and all they're doing is continuing a colonial behavior that has not properly been addressed. When we address it, we solve it. When we don't address it, we have to deal with it. I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm tired of having to run statistics as I've done for the past 6 months being in Vegas. An article that's getting ready to roll out pretty soon is, Smith's Groceries, also owned by Kroger Foods, is an avid supporter of giving jobs to pedophiles, to child molesters. This is not an accusation. This is a fact. I live next door, down the street from a market that is owned by Kroger. And I don't have to because I don't go there anymore. I choose not to go there. But when I did go there, not knowing that an individual has sexually assaulted a child in the 90s and then tried to do it again in 2008, and he's working here, and the community's asked you to make sure that he doesn't work here anymore. When you said no, I think measures at that point when the community is not met with what they should be met with, which is solace, peace, justice, and the right and self-determination to choose if we want to live around said chomos, said pedophiles, said Nazis, we should have the right to say no. Because these are the things and the institutions that demonize us, that exploit us. It just doesn't make any sense. So I just wanted to come on here and briefly talk about this because I think that, it's not getting enough attention. And again, let us not be gullible, and look at this as a failure, of the system. If this is a system that is functioning as designed. The case, of Tom, and the state sanctioned, atrocities in Gaza, are not disconnected anomalies. They're not, and they never have been, but rather two facets of the same colonial machinery. This machinery operates on a core principle, the creation of a hierarchy of human value where the lives, bodies, and dignity of the colonized are rendered disposable at this point. And the violences of the colonizer are perpetually excused, obscured, or denied. We got to stop doing this to ourselves as a people. We got to stop allowing for the predator to continue to prey. We can't allow this. This swift extraction of this Israeli official from American legal accountability stands in brutal contrast with the relentless bombardment and siege that has trapped millions of Palestinians in an open air fucking prison, you guys. If you don't think that it is, I highly advise you to do your research. Don't just look from October 7th till now. Look past October 7th. Look past 1967. Shit, look past 2005. Look past 1994, 1991. Look past, 1982. Look past 1967. Look past 1948. Historically, chronologically, go through it. If you could read the series of Harry Potter, then you can read some books about Palestine. If you could read some mythological book about some fairy tale make-believe place that has peace and solace and tranquility, and somebody is here to destroy it, and you believe that that is wrong, and that person that tries to stop that person is in their right mind to stop this evil person, but you can't see the evil that Israel is doing, the evil that America is doing, the evil that imperialism is doing, and you can't contemplate or even grasp a thought that, oh shit, I think I'm worrying about the wrong reality. I'm not worried about the real reality. And what does that leave way to? It leaves way for predators to come at bay, for Israel to be, held unaccountable for their actions, which is why they are allowing chomos to run rapid. And this is not the first time at all. And it won't be the last if we continue to allow these people to do what they do. We continue to allow these people to do what they do. Again, Palestinians are living in an open air prison with no escape from violence from their occupier. One's man privileged return is to his native state, shielded by the diplomatic armor of his government, underscores the absolute negation of that same right to safety and sovereignty for an entire people. This is the essence of colonial privilege, nobility and impunity for the oppressor, immobility and collective punishment for the oppressed. The international justice system, often hailed as a neutral arbiter, itself is a product and instrument of the colonial order. Its architecture was designed by imperial powers to manage conflict between themselves, not to adjudicate the crimes they commit against the people they subjugate. When has the international courts ever ever really done their job? They haven't. When has the international justice system ever done its job? It didn't. It watched people be tortured, oppressed, subjugated in South Africa. It watched people again. This is no anomaly. This is not disconnected from the understanding of global domination that imperialism has inflicted onto all indigenous populations. Let us not be naive, please. Let us not be naive. Systemic impunity is the predator's greatest shield. It signals to those within the colonial apparatus that their actions, whether the predation of children or the destruction of people, will be met with institutional protection. Institutional protection. They are currently right now ethically cleansing and have created a man-made famine currently right now in the Gaza Strip. Palestinians are going through a Nakba, a catastrophe, phase 5 catastrophe. Nakba means catastrophe. How can we sit here and allow these people, that are so steadfast, mind you, that are unwilling, as any indigenous person would be, unwilling to give their land up? How can we sit here and try and make some, like we're a Watu the Watcher and ponder, the question, what if they just stopped, No, what if they just kept going? And what if the person who was doing this to them fucking stopped? It's simple. We put so much credit on colonial institutions for doing absolutely dog shit, nothing for the world, for the community, for its people. And we sit back and we give them, flowers on top of flowers, graces on top of graces, bending over backwards and spreading our assholes open practically for these people. It's ridiculous. And I think, the time, to speak, of famine, rape and destruction in Gaza is therefore not to list isolated tragedies, but to describe the logical, endpoints of a settler colonial project that seeks to eradicate the native through any means necessary. The fight for justice then is a decolonial fight. It is a demand to shatter this shield of impunity, to hold the individual perpetuators and the institutional architects equally accountable, and to finally recognize that the liberation of all children from the threats of online predators shielded by state powers to the children of Gaza buried under the rubble of their own homes. This is linked to the dismantling of the colonial systems that empower their abusers. We have to stop. And so I just wanted to, read that off to you guys. Again, my name is Isaac Jasper. I hope you guys enjoyed that and you guys can find more of this and that whole entire article at substack.com, isaacjasper.substack.com. Again, that will be changing in the future, but for now it remains the same, and this is pre-recorded, so it remains the same even after this was recorded. Want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned in. Like, share, subscribe, and if you want to give us a follow, please go to any of these, any of these links below. If you love what you heard here and you want to hear a little bit more of that, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon. Or if you don't want to be tied down, like a lot of people don't, you can give us, a little bit of help via the cash links, or just like sharing and subscribing. That helps out. We will in the future, be rolling out some new content, so look forward to that. But until then, you guys already know what I say. See you guys in the next one.